Hey, we are live with some Legacy Life Among the Ruins Gamebound, our little series where we play random one-shots and mini-series, and recently we've been playing Legacy, and it's been good. We're close to reaching the end of like the first kind of arc here. Legacy is meant to be played over a longer period of time with like age turns and stuff like that. So I'm excited to see like kind of the climax of this era's story with these families, and then maybe we can do some evolving and change some stuff around and see how the age turn happens. In theory, we could get through the climax of everything today and do the age turn. We'll see how long it takes though. I'm really happy because everyone was in the right places in the overlay, and I didn't check it in advance. So
mark your bingo box. Mark your bingo board.
We are not playing Caleb bingo without Emily, so I did not make bingo cards today.
It doesn't feel right to do it on something that's not Terra Invicta, right? Like, has to be the first time we do it, right?
I just had to say that.
Yeah.
Wait, so we all joined in the right order?
Mm-hmm.
So we had all the right friends in all the right places?
I would say so.
Great.
Okay, cool. So last time we left off with y'all, I'll give it kind of a recap of like the state of the board here. Mouldwarps are attacking everything. That's the main thing that's happening. The Talpavroi, who are hillbilly monster hunters, they who Seth is playing, they are kind of the main force that fights against these Mouldwarps, these giant mole things. And it's going to be their job today to take the fight to the Mouldwarps and probably try to rally the rest of the families to the defense of the homeland too. We'll see how all that goes, how the families interact there, and what, maybe some of them are just gonna not fight at all and wait until everyone else has fought. Couldn't be the foxes who do this. No,
not at all.
No, they would be valiant.
We're just foxes, well, and how are we gonna fight them? We're so cute
yes,
and
of course,
like little, there's nothing we can do.
Speaking of not being able to do much, the Clan of the Ancient Mysteries is played by Alyssa, and they're forest spirits.
You me?
They're forest spirits.
Dare you?
Fox forest spirits, and recently they betrayed everyone, so I feel no shame for giving you crap over this. They've been doing horrible things, stealing people's ancestral spirit water.
They left willingly.
Yeah, but you also okay. Well, that's
how is it that Alyssa is playing my character more than I'm playing my character?
I don't think that in disembodied souls can own anything, so I'm pretty sure that the mole people, the ones below, owned that water. So, just saying.
Spirits came with us willingly. That's all I have to say.
Yeah. Alyssa, you're kind of quiet. As one note about mic stuff. I don't know if something got turned down at some point, but
maybe just move your mic placement a little closer.
Hello.
Maybe it's just that I was quiet or something, or had my volume down. We'll see. Fiddle around with things.
Maybe I broke it with my "How dare you?"
yeah, it started to autocorrect it. Yeah, the Fox Spirits, the Clan of the Ancient Mysteries, is they've betrayed everyone. They've left the humans for dead and are basically planning on they allied with the Vulture Spirits, the other animal spirits in the realm, and they're kind of just gonna wait till the humans fight the Mouldwarps and join whatever side wins, I guess, or like come in at the last second to maybe like give the killing blow on the Mouldwarp after they have not had to do anything. We'll see how it goes. It's a good thing that we have quick characters to play. Otherwise, Alyssa's just going to be doing nothing this session.
Hey, that's fine with me.
But and then Jordan is playing the Starset Seekers, the Brain Punchers, the scientists and demagogues who are trying to use the alien technology of the apocalypse and try to build something new with it, try to stave off destruction, because the whole planet is being terraformed by weird alien monstrosities, and you all are trying to fight those today. And that's basically what's going to happen today. Just fighting the Mouldwarps is the main problem. Let me bring up my notes real quick here and just double check what other things I wrote down. A couple things to keep in mind about our board right now. I kind of skipped through some of the episodes and tried to recap myself on things that we maybe missed. The ones below.
Nothing. I was going to say I totally misheard you. I thought you instead of board, I thought you said Lord. So I thought you said now. A couple things you need to know about our Lord right now.
Yeah, reigning on high, sitting at the right hand of the Father. The ones below, the kind of humans that got transformed by alien technology into weird mold things. They have an energy field that keeps away the mouldwarps. I listened back through the episode where the Talpavaroi and the clan went to the ones below and were helping them with stuff just to get remind myself as to what you actually changed there. And the Talpavaroi, like, obviously recruited a bunch of ones below into their ranks and helped them fight off the mouldwarps in their area. But they also set up an energy field that basically acts to counteract the thing. Mouldwarps are attracted by the alien technology, and so basically you did some sort of reverse field that like repels the mouldwarps. It is because the Talpavaroi are not really engineers, though. It's a temporary fix, so it will probably fail at some point. That's one of the reasons that the ones below right now have. I think they have need for progress and engineering, because if they don't get those needs met, if they don't get engineers or science of some sort to help maintain the energy field, it's going to fail. So that might be one of the things that is going to fall this time if they can't get a handle on that. The mouldwarps might try to attack their place again, and that could be bad. Let's see, a bunch of ones below, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, we already did that. The Talpavaroi just got rockets for their drill cars, so that's a cool thing. All their vehicles now can fly, very recklessly.
Fly.
Yeah. Basically shoot into the air at high speeds for brief periods of time, and then you hope you land nose down so you can dig back into the earth.
as they say in Toy Story, this isn't flying, this is falling with style.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So that's a thing that Talpavaroi will be able to bring to bear. The Starset Seekers have a warp metal powered shield for their base. I meant to make another little landmark on here to signify that shield, but you guys, that's just something we'll have to remember until I get a little marker up here for it. But yeah, the Starset Seekers basically have a shield around their base that will protect them from the mouldwarps. Using mouldwarp, it's basically like the sort of shield that you would have on a starship going through space, like being able protecting from debris and stuff. That's the idea. Yes, Jordan, what were you laughing at?
You don't want to know.
You don't want to know.
Okay. All right, good.
You don't want to know.
Nope.
The Clan of the Ancient Mysteries has joined with the Vultures to entrench themselves and let the humans fight the mouldwarps. So they're kind of allied right now, but basically this whole stretch of area is all forest spirit territory, or animal spirit territory. So that new alliance has happened. The mouldwarps have just arrived in the homeland, an invasion force larger than ever before. And then two notes that I had mechanically that we should keep an eye on this time. We haven't really been doing anything with treaty in this game yet. And I feel like this is going to be a time where we could spend some of that, especially at the family level. Once Seth's family tries to gather everybody up to fight the mouldwarps and call in favors and things, we'll probably have some family level stuff that might hit treaty. As a reminder, let me might have to bring up grab the book here. Treaty does the following, if I can find the page. 37. Treaty, okay. Your family is an organization with a key role in the homeland spanning network of social influence based on respect, fear, and debts owed. This is measured in your treaty score with other families and organizations. Treaties represent soft power one family holds over another. The more treaties you have on someone, the more people will expect that faction to go along with your wishes. Treaty gains can be equitable or one-sided, but once a point of treaty has been spent, that obligation you hold over the other faction is gone for good. Treaties encompass everything that a faction can draw on in negotiations, such as military saber rattling, shared cultural values, previous services one side provided to the other, or diplomatic clout with the other factions of the homeland. When two families meet at a negotiating table, their treaties with each other give context to the discussion and abstract their obligations to each other. To seal the deal, you can choose to give treaty to another family, but once it's given to them, they can call on that obligation anytime they wish. Each family also has an alliance move, a way to get treaty on other groups when the move is triggered. So you should have things on your playbook as well. But lend aid and call in a debt are two basic moves that like would be relevant for treaty. Lend aid is when your family throws its weight behind another. You roll plus your treaty with them. On a hit, you give that family's next action advantage. So basically, you can, like, let's say the Talpavaroi are like, everyone needs to come alongside us and like fight the Mouldwarps. To abstract how that is starting to go, we would maybe have the other factions like roll treaty to see how, like, if they can give the Talpavaroi advantage against their like fighting the Mouldwarps roll. You can also call in a debt. When you call in an obligation another family has to you, you can spend one treaty and you choose one of the following. Gain +2 on a move that targets them, take a surplus from them, or get them to back you up, fall into indecision, or protect something important. Player families can resist by spending one treaty on you or holding together if they have none. So those are things to keep in mind as we start today. And then the other thing I had as a note here is remember that those who have tech also have devices that they can bring to the field. So if you have on your family sheets any tech, you can always spend that tech to give yourself advantage on a family level roll. But when we zoom in to the character level, you can transform one of those points of tech into a device that your character can carry around and like try to do things with. So, for example, Jordan, if any of your Starset Seekers, if we zoomed in on Mickey at any point and you wanted Mickey to have a special device, we could just have you transform one of your tech into that device for the purposes of the character level. And you could use it for as long as you have it. Using it at the character level opens it up to failure or breaking or something, and then you would lose that point of tech. But it's another way of using that resource. Data is something that you can spend on certain family moves, but mostly it's a character level thing. So it's like your family has information on a bunch of stuff, and when you zoom in, you can spend that to get advantage on things. So those are all things to keep in mind as we
What about mood?
Get started here. Mood is what you roll when you need to hold together. That might be something we also do this time. Holding together is basically when your family must resist hardship, temptation, or infighting. You roll plus your mood. So whenever like something shakes up, so it's very possible we roll that today, or for at least some of the families, when things get crazy, when you must resist hardship. But it's not going to be the roll that we make to fight the Mouldwarps. It would be like, if there's an aftermath or like, something bad happens in the course of that, and you need to like, oh no, you're all out of this resource, and now there's a bunch of refugees streaming towards you, and so on and so forth. Other things like that could, if there's infighting or something like that, your family disagrees with each other on something. But yeah, we're at the family level right now. We're kind of zoomed out, and we see like what the families are going to do about this Mouldwarp problem. Probably the best place to start is with the Talpavaroi, because they have a bunch of moves related to the behemoths, the Mouldwarps.
Kaiju threat alert.
Yeah. So where
are the
So as of right now, the main threat is the West. The West is being invaded, and I think because of the alien technology, and they're usually drawn to that. They're mainly, I think, going after the Starset Seekers right now.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the Talpavaroi. You know that this has happened before, not maybe this big of a force, but like it's happened before where like Mouldwarps have attacked one region and then they also attack another region. So it's not necessarily the wisest option. Like your family would know better than to like be like, everyone needs to go there right now, unless you feel like the force is dangerous enough, which it might be. There's a lot of Mouldwarps there that you really need to invest all your resources there. Up to you how you want to handle that, how like you would be deploying your forces. But as you are nomadic, that's your lifestyle, which allows your scouts stand ever watchful against the monsters. So even though you guys are kind of spread out around and like wandering, as soon as any of your family detects a behemoth, the whole family will know. And I don't think there's like the whole family already knows, basically just because of the warning that. Well, actually, I guess actually that actually might be a part of a question, because the Clan of the Ancient Mysteries knew, but until they actually attack the star set seekers, I don't think anyone else knows until we would like make a roll or like, like someone needs to be standing against this and like get the message out. So I guess the first question is this. Does the Clan of the Ancient Mysteries tell the humans that the Mouldwarps are coming? You're the people who know first.
Yeah, remind me again why we know.
The vultures were fleeing from them.
Us. Right.
Yeah, they were fleeing from them.
They mentioned that's why we're fleeing. Like the Mouldwarps are coming.
Exactly.
That is a great question. I feel like the answer is no. Because part of our agreement with the vultures and like coming up with an alliance with them is that like we're gonna let the humans basically like fight our battle.
Yeah. That's fine. We can continue making the clan the villains of this story. That's fine. We can do that.
I don't know. Like I'm trying to think because like I feel like our family moves are like I feel like we're supposed to be helpful.
Let's see what you got.
The strength of the pack. Are we not men?
No, you're foxes.
You do have your lifestyle does mean that you are ideal for speed and endurance. So at the very least, it would be easy for a fox to get to the humans quickly. Your strength of the pack quality, yeah, you don't need that. Doesn't matter. Are we not men? When your family lends aid or otherwise protects another family without asking for anything in return, gain advantage on the joint effort. If the venture is a success, you gain surplus morale, culture, or motivation. Man, you're going to be missing out if you don't hit that.
Well, but I mean, like, but what does this imply, right? When your family lends aid or otherwise protects another family without asking anything in return, like...
Yeah, so lend aid is an actual move, right? It's when your family throws its weight behind another. You roll plus your treaty with them.
So the idea is that like me lending aid to them is telling them, hey, this is coming and here's how you can prepare for it, right? Without like
maybe
like could I make the argument that like the family move is right, like, hey, we for some information that could save your life, we don't expect anything in return. Here you go.
Yeah,
like, we gained this intel. Here you go.
I think you could. I think you could do it. I think if you succeed, that's exactly what happens. But if you fail, then it becomes very clear what's actually happened, right? Like they're like, okay, cool. So now you're gonna help us, right? Like, and you're like, no, bye, right?
Right. Okay.
I feel you revealing that you knew about it in advance and then not helping after the fact might tip your hand.
Right.
If you actually show yourselves with this, right? But yeah, you're right. It might actually just be in your favor. It might seem perfectly altruistic. But yeah, that makes sense to me. I feel like this is the Telpavaroi, right? Or maybe the Starset Seekers?
Yeah.
Who are you telling first?
Probably the Telpavaroi. I think.
Sure.
I think.
And they're kind of wandering around, so.
Yeah.
You can find one.
I think so. I think that's who we would tell. Be like, listen, I know you guys are mad at us, but here's the deal. Like,
yeah, well, here, one thing we do have to keep in mind is the lend aid move.
And plus, isn't the Starset Seekers this, or is this the Telpavaroi right here?
Telpavaroi bottom right.
Yeah, that right there is the Starset Seekers.
Okay, good. So that's what I was thinking, because I didn't want to be like, I didn't want to tell this clan that like, hey, yeah, we kind of took over some of your land, and we know because of the vultures.
Right.
Right. Like,
sure.
And plus we kind of we didn't screw over the Telpavaroi, but we kind of left them hanging. We were like, hey, there's these like mole people you should go help, and then we like deuced out after that.
What's hilarious about this is right now you owe 4 treaty to the Telpavaroi, and you only have 1 on them.
I know.
That's really funny. I'm putting in the proper names of these.
All right, so here's the favor that I need from you. I need you to let go of all the favors that we owe you.
Yeah.
I think it works that way.
Yeah, here we go.
Because I have a feeling that even though Cinnamon making this deal, she's kind of gone to the whole like, yeah, we just need to preserve the spirits, screw the humans, don't care
Yeah.
about them. I don't think that necessarily all the spirits think that way, right? So I think as a family, right, I think they would agree.
Certainly.
No, we got to let them know, right? They're supposed
Yep.
to worship us. Like, and maybe this will help, the cause of them, like wanting to worship us later. So.
Sure. All right, so you can roll 2d6 plus 1.
Okay.
You're lending aid.
Slash roll 2d6 plus 1.
Darn it!
Woo! Nice.
I was hoping for minimum.
Maximum roll. Okay, in which
Coming
case...
out on top, baby.
In which case, on a hit, you give that family fleeting advantage, and then you don't do the 7 and 9 thing, which would be your family is exposed to any danger, retribution, or unforeseen consequences of their move. So you can literally get away scot-free. Like, you tell them, and you go away, and there's no consequences whatsoever.
Probably what it
They're
is.
like, wow, thank you so much for telling us. Like, this is,
Probably what it is, actually, is the Talpavor are told, they turn around like, let's go monster hunting, and they go, woo! They just take off, not even thinking about it.
Right. They're just so excited about it.
Yeah,
or it's the fact that, better. This is the first mold warp attack since the new recruits have started.
Yeah.
So they hear like, it's like Attack on Titan. They're like, it's all exciting, but actually they're like, okay, you guys are gonna, it's gonna be dangerous.
Yeah.
Some of you are gonna die and get your arms bitten off.
I already have a surplus of morale, so I'm trying to think what I should take from my move here.
You don't get anything.
No, it says that if the venture is a success.
Yes.
So they have to be successful for me to get
exactly.
the surplus.
Yes,
Okay,
and I think that makes sense, right? Like it would be tied to do they fight off the mold warps successfully?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it.
It doesn't happen automatically. But yeah, so there you go. So you'll have a fleeting advantage. The Talpavaroi will have fleeting advantage. With fleeting meaning like if too much time passes or the context changes, then you won't get it anymore. But so let's take a look at the Talpavaroi, shall we? So you're the ones who are able to you're able to intercept them before they get to the Starset Seekers is the idea, or at least some of the Talpavaroi are able to do this. Yeah. So now instantly, your whole family knows where the monsters are. When a new behemoth is found, name a surplus that can be extracted from it or its environment at the risk of drawing its attention. That's a doctrine that you have, so that's something you could hit if you would like.
Wait, where are we looking at? Oh, doctrine.
Your doctrine, yeah. Carrion market.
I mean, I feel like it's the warp metal.
Yeah, it can always just be the warp metal. Yeah,
yeah,
makes sense.
That's what makes the most sense for it to be.
Yep. Sounds good. And then you have Kaiju Threat Alert.
And the risk of drawing its attention is the fact we have to kill them to get it.
Your family is dedicated to hunting behemoths. When you scout for signs of behemoth attack, pick a danger in the world as an omen of an incoming assault. Say how it threatens. Actually, I guess
that doesn't really make sense.
I guess it doesn't matter here because you weren't the ones who scouted for signs.
Mm-hmm.
So let me look. Just making sure we're hitting any of these. Would you like to take out your ultimate weapon? Does the Drakarak get taken out? Does the Drakarak get taken to the fight?
I'm thinking every time you use it, pick one. Erase surplus. Pollutes. Gain need medicine. Or need land. It could break down. Do I have a surplus?
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Energy?
it takes a cost.
I could use my treaty to get medicine, but I don't think anyone has medicine, like naturally.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone does. No.
I might not, just because I don't have a good way to account for any of those losses right now. I don't know if I do, because need for land doesn't make sense because we're nomadic.
Technically, the Guild of Last Days Profiteers has a move that will allow them to dredge up a surplus if you wanted to spend a treaty on them, if you have one.
I do.
That
But they also treaty on me.
Yeah.
I'm just nervous because I know the one that's going to happen is going to break down or blow up at any moment.
Well, isn't it a choice? You pick one.
Oh, I get to pick one. Maybe I do have to pick it, and I'll just do need for medicine because the newbies get hurt.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds good. Yes. I'm assuming, is Darren coming on this? He's not really a fighter. He's turned into a leader type person, right?
He probably comes, but not to fight. He probably watches from afar or something like that, or like is nearby for like strategicness.
Yeah, let me.
Because
I feel like Darren's role in this session is going to be convincing the other families to work with them to fight off the invasion, right? Because that's what this character is good at, and so that's what we should focus on in terms of the character level stuff. At least is like, you know, we assume the Telpavaroi are fighting, of course, but the character level thing for the Telpavaroi is going to be convincing a family or two to join with. All right, cool. So
I only have a +1 to sway, though.
Yeah, I know.
That's what data's for.
True. And you have a core tier, so. All right, cool. So you added that need for medicine there.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
It won't technically be happening yet, but.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. So the Telpavaroi can. They have fleeting advantage right now because of the warning that the clan gave them. They can also easily spend treaty on factions to get them to do things for them if you feel like you need a bigger force to fight them. Or we could just zoom in or I don't think we're going to zoom in on the fight necessarily, because you know your main character would be there in the fight. But we can either, a couple things I see us doing, either just like making the roll right now and on the family level to see how well they're fighting off the invasion, or going into the Starset Seeker stuff and being like, okay, the Telpavaroi goes and like convinces them. I don't know if they need convincing of anything in particular.
Mm-hmm.
I guess let's ask Jordan. Jordan, what are the Starset Seekers planning on doing once they are alerted to this?
Clearly, I'm going to give treaty to the I can never the Last Day Profiteers. We're just gonna give them treaty on us.
You're gonna give them treaty? Okay.
Yeah,
that's the thing you can do, I suppose. Sure.
No, I mean, we just got a force field.
Yeah, you're just being defensive about it.
Might not be enough.
It might not be enough, but no, I don't think we're just being defensive. I think we're probably like trying to bolster the defense. But B, I think we're trying to figure out a way to like I imagine that the defense shield right now is like a two-way thing. Like you can't shoot out of it, for example.
Right. You're kind of locked. You're isolated in there.
Yeah. So I'm thinking that there's probably that we're trying to figure out a way to make it a one-way thing where we could shoot stuff out. Or that we, you know, whether it's like opening up pockets in certain areas or like actually being able to shoot through the barrier.
Well, yeah, let's take a look. I mean, right now you have resources, you have surpluses of progress and morale and no needs. So honestly, I don't know if that's true. I think you're fine, right? Like, unless you had like a need here for weaponry or something, right? Like, I feel like the Starset Seekers are in a pretty good place. And like, I suppose we could arbitrarily create a problem for them.
I feel like the problem is the fact that the mouldwarps are coming. The mouldwarps are coming.
Oh, right. What I mean is, like, I don't think we need to assume that like the shield is one way or is only one way. Whereas you know what I mean, that you can't shoot things out of it, because I feel like that would have to be in the mechanics here. Like if you get a need or something, that would imply that. But like you succeeded on the thing you wanted to do, which was just to be defensive. It doesn't necessarily mean it has some sort of drawback. Like you didn't fail a roll or anything. So I feel like, you can shoot out of it.
Okay. Well,
you have mechs and stuff. You don't necessarily have any bigger. You don't have a surplus of like weaponry or anything like that.
Yeah.
So I suppose that's the thing you could work on.
So we have the defense. We need the offense.
Mm-hmm.
We need a strong offense. We need a super army and super guns.
So is the idea that Starset Seekers are going to work on some sort of offensive weapon while the Tabletop fight them off?
I think we want to work on some sort of super weapon that specifically just demolishes mouldwarps with little effort.
Okay, Talpavaroi, was your plan going to be get the Starset Seekers to come and help you with the fight?
I mean, you might as well.
Or like, would that be something? Yeah.
Like, hey, these guys are at your front door. Let's go knock some heads.
What do the Starset Seekers say to that? Are they like insisting on the fact that they're going to be defensive, or do you send some mechs to go join the fight?
I think Mickey likes the idea of being asked for help, so I think he's going to help.
Oh my gosh.
They need me.
Yeah, exactly. There's a complex going on.
Hero complex.
Here.
Yeah, of course.
It's a hero complex or savior complex.
Mm-hmm,
you know.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Does Mickey himself go then?
No,
of course not.
Okay, all right. Because you went last time. You went in like experimental mech, the first session we ever had.
I think he's too excited to like play with the new weapons and the new guns and stuff, and see the new stuff.
Yeah.
I think he's waiting to go play and have his fun until the new thing is done.
Mm-hmm.
Also, he probably is having like his own mech suit being fitted with this shield technology.
Mm-hmm.
So he's probably having his own special mech suit worked on.
Sure. I feel like because the clan already gave them fleeting advantage, so they don't need fleeting advantage on this next roll. But you could maybe do. Let's see. I guess that's not. What we need here. Yeah, I think the idea here is that I just can't see a mechanical benefit that you sending the mechs actually would give now that he has advantage from the lend aid. I suppose you could roll it again if the first roll fails. But I think right now in the fiction, we can say that you're sending aid, but I don't think it gets any additional benefit, at least to this initial roll, to see how it's going.
Yeah.
We just keep that in mind narratively. Okay, cool. So let's. I think the first thing we do is we have the Talpavaroi make a roll to see how well they're fighting off the initial invasion. So let's see. It could either be hold together. Or, okay, here we go. Seize or maintain control of resource. Let's say that you're claiming by force, I think. I think the idea is the what you're maintaining control of is like the homeland, right? Like the space part of the homeland that they're attacking. So let's do that. Let's have you roll with advantage. Grasp. Yeah.
Okay. And can I use anything to give me? I already have advantage, so never mind.
Yeah, and I don't have any tech anyway, so
and that would be gives me a plus any. Well, no, the ultimate weapon.
That would be if you zoomed in.
Are we going to zoom in then, or
not if Darren's not going to be there? Is the issue right?
Okay,
so
then I don't have the need for medicine.
Okay, you're just gonna not worry about that until it. Yeah, that makes sense.
If I'm not using it,
yeah, that's totally fair.
So grasp, advantage,
Mhm.
and no pluses or anything like that.
+1 from your. Oh yeah, just whatever your grasp is going to give you. Yeah, but you don't need to enter that. You'll
And
do
no
it automatically.
modifiers.
Nope. All right. Partial success.
Barely a partial success. Alyssa took the good rolls.
Okay. So claim by force. On a hit, it's yours, right? But not without cost. In 7 and 9, you choose 2 of the following options. You need to commit to securing it. Tie one of your surpluses to the resource. If you lose the resource, you lose the surplus, and vice versa. There's a cost to your victory. Your family gets a need of the GM's choice, or you hurt somebody. The GM will say who, and they take 2 treaty with you. 2 treaty on you. Two of those options need to be chosen.
I have to pick 2 of them.
Yep.
Okay, I thought it was like the inverse where like I only get one. Okay, so
These are all good things.
Wait, huh?
Or these are all bad things, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say these are all bad things. I was expecting them to be good things.
Yeah.
So I was a little confused when you started. So there's someone gets hurt. I have to tie a need. What was that? I'm not exactly sure what
you
that
need to
meant.
commit to securing it. Tie one of your surpluses to the resource. If you lose the resource, you lose the surplus, and vice versa. So you would have to say something like, what surpluses do you have?
How many resources do I have?
Weaponry, warp metal, and prestige. So you would maybe like tie your prestige to it. So the idea would be you would lose your prestige if the resource ever got, if you held it for now, right? You have it for now. But if you ever lose this ground, then you would also lose X. Because your prestige counts on holding this ground, right? Or whatever.
Okay, so there's that option. There's someone gets hurt.
Yep. And there's a cost to your victory. You just get a new need. So you could easily do like new need medicine, like you said before. They get hurt,
I think that makes sense given this.
It's the new recruits, right?
We'll give myself a new need medicine, and maybe if someone gets hurt or I lose my potential. I don't think my surplus of prestige is my surplus of prestige really doing anything. Honest question, guys.
I mean, as a surplus, it's giving you a higher mood. It's something that's narratively true about the setting.
A higher mood.
Yep.
I'll let someone else get hurt.
So I'm imagining it's probably going to have to be. It's either the Starset Seekers, or it's the Vultures or the Clan of Ancient Mysteries. Maybe.
I have a lot of treaty on the Clan of Ancient Mysteries, so that's fine by me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know who. Let's see. You hurt some. Oh, the GM will say who, and they take 2 treaty with you. Okay, 2 treaty on you. I don't know. What do we think? What makes the most sense here? Because like I feel like they're pretty clearly helping the Starset Seekers. I don't see a real reason to have it be the Starset Seekers that they hurt. Seems kind of arbitrary to do it that way, but it might make sense to hurt. It has to be the ones below. That's what it is. Because you've left them more vulnerable, and then mouldwarps attack them too, right?
Or it's also they didn't realize how like Attack on Titan. They were like, oh, this really is.
All their young men die in a horrible war. Yeah, exactly.
All of them. I know. They're just a little hurt.
Just most of them.
They're mutilated. Yeah.
Well, and you even said earlier that in the past, the mouldwarps, like, they're attacking here and then they'll attack somewhere else too.
It ties into my need for medicine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so 2 treaty on me.
Yeah, they have 2 treaty on you, and I think
2 more treaty on me. They have 5 total now.
Nice. I think what has to happen then is we have to roll for for them, right? Because they get attacked. They're vulnerable now. Let's take a look at what they have going on. Oh yeah, they have this whole darkness thing. These harm shit. I think you have to see the fall. Wild. Yeah, none of those are relevant. I think they just are gonna roll mood. Or to be honest, I wouldn't need to roll for them. I can just decide that something happens. Energy, defenses, land, leadership as surpluses, and they have needs for artisans, justice, progress, engineering, and fresh water. I mean, maybe they have a need for recruits now. Actually, you know what? This is what we need to do. We need to I need to make a quick roll for them or something. They need to figure out how to. Ooh, okay. Here's what we should do. I think let's go to the Starset Seekers, because I think we're backing up a little bit. You know, the Starset Seekers have started working on their weapons project. Let's zoom in there, because I have an idea of a couple of things that can happen. Darren, are you going to the Starset Seekers for any particular reason? Do you need to convince them of anything in particular?
I mean, we already had the talk about them helping us, so not really. If not,
that's fine.
That's done with. Yeah.
I think the thing we need to zoom in on is some of the ones below come to you, Mickey, and ask for help with engineering in progress. So let's zoom in there, because I think unless we could, I guess we could do it at the family level too. They come to you, so ones below show up. They saw you do the rocket thing for the Talpavaroi. You're muted, by the way.
Yeah, I'm just like trying to get the voice back down.
Yeah. And I don't think we might zoom out on this up to how obstinate about it Mickey would be. But what they really need to do before the mouldwarps get there is they need to get the shield like settled. They need to make sure that they have engineering, specifically engineering is what they really need, so that they can make sure that shield does not fail. Because otherwise this attack on from the mouldwarps is going to be way worse. So we got to deal with that first. Would you just give them do you have engineering as a surplus right now by chance?
Engineering as a surplus? Yeah. I don't think I have engineering as a surplus.
You do not. It's not a need though. That's nice.
Progress and morale as surpluses.
Mm-hmm. So they come to you asking for engineering. You have none to spare.
I had engineering as a surplus.
Yeah, you had to spend it for the shield you just built. Yeah. So the way this works is you'll have to make some sort of roll to get them engineering if you want to help them, or you could give them engineering and then get it as a need for yourself, right? Because having it not having a need or a surplus of something means you have just enough, right? So if you gave them some of your engineering, then you would have a need for it now. Yeah, or you could just, flip them off and send them packing.
Let's see, do we add to the national debt?
You could also just try to make a deal with them, right?
In return, I would get treaty, right?
That's true. Yeah, at the very least, they would get one treaty on them for sure, because they now owe you. So yeah, you could easily do that. You could try to make a deal, right? Like you give us something else.
Okay. I think I have a way to do this and to immediately cash in and solve my need. If I were to give them the engineering to help them out so they can survive, and as a result, they stick around here so my guys that are fighting can spend more time recouping the lost engineering.
So you want them to join the fight instead of the Starset Seekers?
Well, I mean, because I am assuming that we have people that are like defending the gates and stuff here.
Oh, I see. You're saying, have them join, like protect your faction.
Yeah, so they protect my faction until, so that the people that we have protecting our faction, we can have them come back and work more on engineering stuff until that's no longer a need for us.
Sure. Yeah. I think we maybe make a move here. I'm trying to look at the ways you can just do this for them. So the idea would be the first thing you're doing is like giving them engineers.
Yeah, we give them the engineering, so then we have a need for engineering, right? And then we get treaty on them. And then with that treaty, we have them when the engineering for them is complete, we have them with their new ability to defend themselves, right? We have them defend us for a bit until we can get out. So we can send our guys that are out fighting back in so they can, one, rest, and two, they can like do some more engineering stuff instead so that we can recoup our loss for the need.
I'm just trying to think of how to mechanize this. I guess we could just say yes, and all of that happens, right? Which I guess suppose is an option, but
I feel like we'd have to do it in stages. Like that's the progression, but
yeah. So let's the initial thing is basically they come to you, asking for help with their engineering, and you say, yes, I will give you some engineers, and like give myself a need for engineers by like getting rid of, giving you some to work with. And then, let's just do this one step at a time. Let's say that happens, right? As long as you're fine with that, they will do, and then you get one treaty over them, right? Because now they owe you. That's an easy enough trade to make in the mechanics. And then we'll have them try to mitigate. Yeah, because that mitigates their need for engineering if they get a surplus of it. So that goes away. Their mood is at 0 now. And I think we just roll their hold together move then, maybe? Yeah, maybe I'll just do that. That's probably the easiest way to decide this. Because it's just like they have hardship now that they have to deal with, and they have a better chance of doing it because they have had that need taken away. All right, I'll roll for it. Oh, they missed. Very good. It's still going to be bad. Okay. Hold together. Oh, right. Yeah, they just failed, so it doesn't. They do not remain okay. Let me check my GM moves here. So I'm trying to think of what. Because like they basically your engineers came over, they were helping them maintain the shield. I'm wondering if that like this fails despite it or because of it, or if there's like some other like maybe they somehow bypass the shields entirely, so it was irrelevant. Because right now over here we have I could probably just get rid of the site of a genocidal massacre. That doesn't really matter anymore. Oh yeah, your did your mobile bar or your forward operating base move at all here, Seth? Did either of your little mobile stations move?
I don't know.
I feel like this one did.
That one probably did.
Yeah.
The other one didn't, I don't think.
Yep. A forward operating base for training new recruits and testing their mettle against the behemoths is exactly what's happening right now on the front lines, right? Yeah. So right over here, there's basically just this, right? The structure built by ancient humans inspired by your ancestors, and then the abandoned alien ecosystem over here. Yeah, I think your engineers come and help them maintain the shield. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think? What goes wrong here? Because by all accounts, it doesn't make sense. Pull down the.
Maybe there was a mold warp like nest already on the inside of the shield.
Yeah, maybe just too late.
Yeah.
Mm.
And it ends up taking enough of them that there's so my thinking is maybe they just kind of like come and become a part of the Starset Seekers because their society's in shambles.
You want to push them to yeah.
Come join us.
I think this probably mainly means that they have to get rid of one or more of their surpluses. Or maybe they gain a need or something. Right now their surpluses are energy, defenses, land, and leadership. Maybe they just lose some land, maybe?
Yeah.
Like their territory becomes smaller.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me. So the fighting, this is all being abstracted. The fighting is happening. They didn't collapse as a faction, but they've lost some ground. And I think it's probably like because of I'd like to think that it was because the Talpavaroi just immediately left them to go do the fighting. That's what made them vulnerable in the first place. That's why we did this thing in the first place. So even though Jordan's faction tries to help them with their engineering, there was already a vulnerability in there. And I think like the Starset Seekers is what makes it go. That's the only thing that happens is they lose land. That's them being there is the only reason. That is what the end result was. If not, I would have just like gone to town and just like gotten rid of a bunch of their surpluses and stuff and wreaked havoc on their society. What you get now, when we do the H turn, it's entirely possible factions like split or combine or whatever, right? So that's definitely a thing we could maybe do. But for right now, they're holding. Talpavaroi are up there, and you've managed to maintain the ground, right? That's the result you got, and you did it by hurting the ones below and getting medicine, a need for medicine. So the fighting is still happening. What would be the next step for you guys? I think you know what? Let's do this. Starset Seekers, you're trying to work on your weapon. That's the next thing here. We're gonna zoom in at some point here. But we're kind of abstracting some of this. Starset Seekers, you want to do your weird science move again, right? When your family puts together a device.
Science.
Yeah. When your family puts together a device powerful enough to shape the local area for generations, say what they want it to do. The GM will give 1 to 3 of the following conditions. So you want to build a giant like cannon that can kill mouldwarps, basically?
I want a Mouldwarp annihilation cannon, yes.
Very good.
Or multiple. Like, it doesn't have to necessarily be one super ultra cannon that takes a bajillion years to reload. Like, having a couple of pretty darn good cannons that'll take care of them in, like, 1 or 2 shots that we can maintain pretty easily.
Yeah.
In case there's, like, 100 Mouldwarps and we need to, like, clean house quick.
Certainly. Let's take a look at these conditions. What do we think is interesting? It'll take weeks, months, years to build. You'll need to erase a certain surplus. It'll only work for a limited length of time before needing to recharge. You'll need to hook it up to a certain power source. You'll have to sacrifice 1, 2, or 3 tech. I'm thinking that for sure I want to choose that blast option, and because that's definitely a good mission to do where you like go try to scavenge for some tech, or you need to go somewhere to get some extra tech to build this thing. What do we think another condition or two might be for this? Hook it up to a certain power source makes sense. Like you need warp metal. Like enough of it, like a surplus of it.
So I need a surplus of warp metal and more tech. Kind of like what happened with the shield. Yeah,
I think... let's also say it'll only work for a limited length of time before needing to recharge. Let's do that one too. And I'm going to say 3 tech for the tech thing. Like, it's going to be a big weapon. It's going to be very, very powerful, but it will require a lot of tech. And I think the idea is going to be you're going to need more surpluses of warp metal every so often to, like, recharge it, right? Like, it will burn up the warp metal as it's used. But, like, we're talking about, like, burning magical metal to create a giant blast it's going to be pretty
and
awesome.
I mean, if we're killing the worms with them really easily, we'll just get more wart metal from them. That after
I was actually just wondering, since we just fought a bunch of the mouldwarps, do I technically get more warp metal, or how does that work mechanically?
Let's take a look at your moves here, because I think
it wasn't any of my moves. It was just like,
right. I know. So when a new behemoth is found, name a surplus, it can be extracted from it or its environment at the risk of drawing its attention. Yep. So you can extract it from it, and then
the warp metal, so
the move that you rolled was claim by force, maintain control of a resource. On a hit, it's theirs, but not without cost.
We have already.
Taiwan, blah blah blah. Do you have a surplus for it right now?
Yeah. Can I have two of a surplus of two things twice? I think I did.
No, last time we just made it into barter goods instead.
Okay.
Which makes sense. We could do that again. I think we should not have that happen yet. And the key being the fight has not ended. And so you don't have time to harvest it yet.
Gotcha.
So technically there's like some mouldwarp corpses that you could harvest it from, but you don't have the time to do it yet. So that would have to be like a thing. You would have to like roll to do that.
Okay.
So the state we're in right now is and here I think that the gun that you're thinking of making, the way that this would work to make it, I think, a little bit more interesting, and the way that it'll make it a little complicated to use. I think that part of the thing that this thing does is the warp metal that you use to power it reacts to the warp metal that is inside the creatures and creates a gigantic explosion. And so you will not get warp metal from killed mouldwarps with this cannon, but it's very, very effective because it will blow them up to smithereens like instantly when that reaction happens.
It like causes like a resonant frequency with the metal inside of them.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Whatever power you're transforming the warp metal into will react very strongly to the warp metal that's still in the mouldwarps. So that's where we are right now.
So does it?
Yeah.
So does it then destroy the warp metal inside the mouldwarps?
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's what's making it possible to create the explosion. But because I don't think there's any explosion powerful enough to kill the mouldwarp is going to have to destroy the warp metal too. I think is just like the way that will work. Yeah, it's gonna be a powerful gun, but it will have some costs to it. So before because I think the next thing would be like having to figure out like how to get that warp metal. And then there's some other things that I'm gonna reveal here in a second. But the Clan of the Ancient Mysteries, are you guys just chilling?
Yep.
Sounds good. I'm curious. I think we should make some sort of roll for you here. Like to figure out what you're doing in the meantime, at least. A couple of ideas being maybe there is some infighting in the faction. Maybe there's some people who do not want to just sit idly by while the humans. Like you did mark the traitor move, right? Like
right.
There's opposition to this move. Or I guess here's a question. If that's not what happens, then what are the Clan of the Ancient Mysteries doing? Literally just sitting around?
I think that's a fair assumption, right?
Yeah.
That like there are some who are like, guys, come on, like what are we doing? Like we need to go help. And then there are some that are like, kind of on Cinnamon's side where it's like, no, the humans don't worship us anymore, and we already tipped them off. So we've done more than enough.
Yep.
We got to save our own skin. We're the only spirits left. Us and the vultures. We got to preserve the spirits. So.
Yeah. What's hilarious is I think Cinnamon marked her prophet move already. Mark when the invaders come and you are waiting for them. Describe how you've learned about their arrival. The GM will tell you how they might conquer your people. Like that's just what happened. Does that make sense to you?
I guess so. Yeah.
Because like I think no matter what happens this session with the Clan of the Ancient Mysteries, that's the role that you've taken on, is like I am the person who will see the future of our, because that's what the prophet means, is like you're seeing the future of your family and predicting what will happen. And I like the invasion of the mouldwarps is kind of the tipping point for the faction, one way or the other. So let's have you mark that one. We already know how you learned about their arrival. The GM will tell you how they might conquer your people. We already know that, right? Like if the humans fail. So then we know that the role that Cinnamon has taken in this, and now we roll to see if your faction stays with you or not. And then at the very least, Cinnamon will be done after this session. This is her denouement now, because she's marked her last roll. And then you also get to choose when you do that. You get to I know there's a thing that happens when you mark a roll. I think you get to like choose a new move or whatever.
I'm not sure. That's a good question.
I will find it. Marking rolls.
You're talking about just for Cinnamon specifically?
Yeah, for Cinnamon. Yeah.
I think so. I think I get a new one.
I'm pretty sure you do. I'm just trying to figure out if you... Or is the word I was looking for. When you mark an unmarked roll, get a new move or add 1 to a stat. I knew that those were the options. I just didn't know if it was both or just choosing one or the other. So you can take a look at your moves there. You also can choose a inheritance move from your family. Or you can get just like a straight up +1. Though I think 3 is the highest you can get on any stat. So
yeah. I don't know if any of these moves make sense for her anymore. I'm wondering if I should try to. Maybe I should just make the sway not a -1.
There's also the inheritance moves.
Don't I have a move that allows me to do lore instead of sway?
Words unspoken. When you find a new people deep in the wasteland, you can roll + lore on familiar face and find common ground, even if this is your first time here and in spite of any language barrier.
Yeah, okay, never mind. But what she's trying to do now, right, with her new role as prophet, is she's trying to convince her people that she's right. So I think it makes sense just to give her a +1 to sway.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense to me.
So it's still a 0, so she's not a very great prophet trying to convince her people of this. But you know. But
you have your line in the sand. You've chosen your
she
path
has
here.
chosen, yes, for sure. Let's see if the rest of the clan follows.
Yeah,
and Cinnamon started off as such an innocent little fox.
She did. It says if you mark 4 rolls, your character retires to safety. Narrate an epilogue for them using any element you like from their death move, and then create a new character to carry on their legacy. Obviously, we don't want to do that right now with Cinnamon because her story isn't quite over yet. But that's what will happen by the end of the session. Is we'll have you. We'll narrate your retirement.
Bye, Cinnamon.
Either by actual death or just retirement. Cool. So let's roll that mood to see how well your family is holding together. Right now, you have a really good position to roll this from. You have a mood of 3. You have morale, freshwater, crops, and land. Only you need is prestige.
And because they succeeded on their roll to hold off the mouldwarps?
Oh, that's true. I think you get a surplus. Do you want to get prestige?
No, I don't have to. I don't get to. It's one of the 3. I get morale, culture, or motivation. I feel like motivation might make sense.
Motivation might make sense. Yeah.
I'm gonna put in motivation.
Okay. And then the way that works is you actually hit surplus again. You hit what is it called?
Right. Too much of something.
Too much. Yeah. Too much surplus. So you'll have to flush with resources. If a mood would hit +4, erase a surplus and pick 1. So go ahead and just choose which one of these surpluses goes away because you're just flush with resources.
I hate to say it, but probably the motivation, right? Because it's I don't want morale to go down because I feel like that would be good. I want to keep that going. I don't want to get rid of the fresh water. I don't want to get rid of crops, and I want to get rid of land.
Sure. Yeah. Motivation could go away. Yeah.
Although it could make sense to get rid of land though, if the vultures just join our area, I suppose.
Yeah. Maybe you give up more land to them than you thought you're going to.
I think that also could work.
Sure.
Which one makes more sense to you, Caleb?
I just remembered that you got land in the first place because the vultures joined you.
Yeah.
So maybe it doesn't make sense to then have it also be the reason that you get rid of land.
Okay. So I got rid of all this motivation now.
I think it makes sense though. Like the idea is that like this situation right now that we're making the roll in is deciding whether or not you have motivation to go through with what you're doing, right?
I guess that's true.
So it makes sense that you would like use it, you get it and then spend it. But then you get a pick one of these things. I think you already chose one of them. You can only pick option each once per age. So I believe last time you did sell off you got it to 1 tech, I believe.
I think so, yeah.
Yep. Sell off the excess surplus for 1 tech. So instead you have to choose one of the following. Gift the excess to your allies and gain advantage with reach until the end of this age. Bond with a great celebration, giving you advantage with grasp until the end of this age. Finance a network of informants and gain advantage with sleight until the end of this age. Or invest in better equipment, get a new gear option.
Remind me again what grasp does again.
Grasp would be seizing something by force. You're best with reach and sleight. I mean, diplomacy could be the thing. Like if that's what if you want to be prophet lady.
Right. Yeah, I'll take a +1 to reach.
Gift the excess to your allies and gain advantage with reach. So motivation to the vultures.
Those are technically only our only allies right now.
Very true. That makes sense. Like it could be, it's as simple as
right. It seems like they've kind of have like given up.
You proved to them they were nihilistic about this whole thing, and then you're like, right. we'll join together. The humans will take care of it. Everything's gonna be fine. And then we see a little vignette of like Havoc coming, the vulture you met before, coming back to you and be like, well, they did it, we're safe, right? Like, and they seem happier.
Yeah.
Cool. And then we'll see if your family decides to go on with you or not. Go and roll that mood there.
Okay. 3 to mood.
Yeah, +3.
Okay. I just roll standard type, right?
Yep.
Okay. Modifiers. I don't do
no modifiers. It's automatically going to do 3. Yeah. Hey, you just keep getting rewarded for all of your bad decisions. All right, cool.
So relatable. I grab another cookie and
hold together. On a hit, you mostly remain okay. Pick 1. So you still have to, like, no matter what, there's still a little bit of rough weather here for your family. You have to choose one of these things. You lose people to harm and or desertion, get needy recruits. Another family or faction came through to help you, give them 1 treaty on you, or the danger hasn't passed so much as shifted into something more manageable. Say what it is.
I think the third one makes sense, right? The danger hasn't passed, but it's more manageable.
Yeah, it shifts into something more manageable. So before, the danger was your family breaking apart and some of them joining with the humans because they didn't believe that you were choosing the right thing. Now, what's a more manageable version of that you could deal with?
I'm gonna say I don't know if this is more manageable, but like I think just the new problem, right, is going to be like pushing off the humans as much as we can, right? Kind of a thing, right? Like, okay, we're all in agreement that like we're really not gonna help out the humans as much as possible, right?
Yeah.
We're just gonna like sit back and like let them do our dirty work.
Yeah.
And why shouldn't they? They should be worshiping us anyways.
Yeah. But yeah, maybe then it becomes like, okay, well, we need to like make clear to the humans that that's our new, like, that's our new strategy. Like they need to, like, we're in charge. They need to worship us. Like they do our bidding now. Maybe that's the new thing that starts
the new thing
rising.
Is that we need to like come back to like, we need to come back to our place, right? We're no longer in just survival mode. We need to be thriving mode.
And now that the vultures have joined us too, we're gonna the old religion is going to return, right? The spirits are going to rule once more.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's definitely a problem. On a 10+, the trial brings you together, gain surplus morale in addition to the other results. You already have the surplus morale, so I think you just maybe hit flush with resources again, right? Same thing, right? Like you would get it and then you don't get it, but you just get the extra thing. So do you want to get advantage with grasp, advantage with sleight, or a new gear option?
Advantage with
grasp, sleight. You could do sleight and like grasp.
Well,
I don't know.
remind
Grasp
me
doesn't
again
make
what
us.
sleight does.
So sleight is subterfuge and stuff. It's like stealthy whatnot. So subterfuge you could use to make a resource appear more or less desirable. Cause a scandal within a family's organization, hide your own involvement in an act. I think you should choose this one because
yeah. Well, and plus it's like, wow, you have all this water, all this land, like you got to share it. And we're gonna be like, no, but we have to share it with these vultures already. Like, you know, we really can't do that.
This
Sorry,
is terrible. You guys are becoming such villains.
I know. Oh man, Cinnamon really wanted to help. She was like, I want to find the other spirits and like rally us together, and this is where we turned up.
And like you really tried to. You like tried to like help the horrible mole people who like were an abomination of everything your culture believed, but like it just didn't work out, and now you're like, okay, that too far.
Cinnamon's entire character arc is basically, here I come, I am Cinnamon. Oh, no, no. Oh, no.
That's not what I was expecting.
Because her thing, right, was I think that she was like, her whole character arc was, okay, we're in survival mode. We need to figure out a way to survive. Let's find more spirits and rally together and do this thing. And then when she found the mole people, she's like, well, okay, I guess that's all we got. You know what? Let's try to help them too. And then when the other spirits just confirmed.
The lake spirits,
The lake spirits just confirmed that, no, they're abominations. You shouldn't do that. She's like, okay, then we just got to go all in on this other stuff. And
Yep. Yeah, there was a path forward where Cinnamon kept being like the person who looks out for the little guy until the end, right? Even though they were like abominations, but you decided to double down on being a forest spirit. So
yeah.
Or this other other idea of what that means. Cool. All right, so that's what the clan has been doing. So. Now we kind of have a situation where we figure out, that's the next thing I need to do. So now I need to reveal to you what else is happening, and because I think like the idea is that you're holding here, you're holding in the west, but that's of course when like they're still attacking in the west, you're just holding them off, and that's of course when they attack other places too, right? Like the rest of the homeland gets threatened. So, I'm going to reveal a couple things on the map here. So we have the smoke in the northeast over here. A mass of desperate and terrified refugees streaming from the wastelands. So you guys didn't know about this, but apparently there was like some pocket of civilization out up that way, right? That still existed. And it got destroyed recently, and a bunch of people start flooding into the homeland, quickly heralding the arrival of yet more mouldwarps, right? And you guys,
people to worship us.
Yeah. Maybe they'll be desperate enough to do it, yeah. None of your families have had to deal with this yet, so maybe it's the information is slow getting to you. We don't even really see a scene of it happening, but you get word from the Guild of Last Days Profiteers that they're streaming into their territory, like, and they have to find places for them or like try to just like bar them from their places, and then they're camping outside. Like, there's a whole big turmoil happening there that the Guild is having to deal with. But you know, Talpavroy, that like this heralds the arrival of yet more mouldwarps from the northeast.
Yay.
And then let me real quick check some other.
Actually, that is a yay for me, because that means we get to kill more mouldwarps.
Yeah. And I think another thing gets revealed. I'll reveal in the south here. A sprawling hive of tunnels and vast chambers. This is the thing that ended up threatening the ones below. You didn't realize, Seth, your faction didn't realize that there was like a deeper hive here than you ever thought, and there was like probably like a bunch of dormant mouldwarps who like nested down there for a long time and just got awakened by something, and they start pouring out of a rift in the ground and start threatening your stuff over here, and probably the clan too, right? How do you guys deal with that? And it also, the Starset Seekers are trying to build their weapon. And the clan has their idea of like how they want to deal with the humans. The Talpavaroi are still you still have to defend the West over here, but you'll have to like either spread your forces thin or, yeah. What do you think?
So just make sure I'm understanding. How are we dealing with the fact that there's even more? There's like an underground.
There's now 3 different points where the mouldwarps are attacking.
Oh wait, this is. Oh, I just saw the new thing you added to the map.
Yeah, so they're attacking from the west. A big hive of them recently opened up over here, and then refugees are streaming from the north. The mouldwarps haven't reached the homeland yet, but that's a herald. They're going to attack again from up here too, right? Like
they're obviously the people are coming
from somewhere.
Because mouldwarps attacked.
Exactly. So I'm curious about your strategy before we move on to
call in favors.
Call in favors, yeah.
It's time to call in favors. Probably what it is something that does not happen. I'm just gonna make something up.
Mm-hmm.
It's because it's whatever. But I'm probably gonna do something that doesn't happen often, like call a council of the clans.
Right here, a huge and somber building where the fate of nations was decided. Right? Mm-hmm. We have the council meet.
Yeah.
So is this like the clans of the Talpavaroi?
No, like
or the clans of humans who have
all of them. Like, no, I'd probably call in the clan of ancient mysteries as well. Like all of them. Everyone's getting called in.
I think the original version of this was like back when you were like pre-industrial humans. It was like the clans of humans who lived in this area all met in this big building, right? And it's
cameo time.
William,
hi William.
I can't afford a cameo.
Hi William.
Don't worry, it's okay. He's in charge much. Just some
snacks.
Just some snacks will be fine.
Just snacks and cuddles.
Uh-huh. If he's in the mood for them. Hi.
Hi, William.
Hi, William.
Did you have fun
watching
the football game?
Did he have fun at the
Yeah, you got to eat some Cheez-Its.
You had Cheez-Its.
Did he have fun at the monster truck thing a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, it was fine.
I know.
Oh no. Spiders. Oh my gosh, spiders. Okay, bye. Hey,
bye, William. Okay, sorry. Important things were happening, Caleb. What were you saying?
I don't even remember. Oh yeah. We're all gonna meet there. I like that. I like this because it will give Darren a key thing to do. And we can have everyone else show up too, right? It can be a big thing. Obviously, the four spirits can decide whether or not they show up to this call. But
can I put the barter goods out of surplus?
So wait. Are the other people gonna be there?
I think everyone's gonna be there. Yeah.
Like the new refugees are gonna be there.
No,
probably not.
Okay, then never mind. They're not showing up.
I mean, Talpavaroi could reach out to them, right? Like you could, that could be a thing that you do, right? Like you reach out to whoever's in charge of them. That actually kind of makes sense, right?
Yeah, that would kind of, I don't know if there is an in charge of necessarily, but we could try, I guess.
Yeah, no, we can make that part of the whole thing, right?
Real quick, since it seems like some time has passed, can I put the barter goods in my surplus?
No, because you would have to make some sort of roll here to actually actively harvest it, because like there's just like an ongoing battlefront happening there.
Oh, right? It's still happening.
Yes.
How long has it been?
Making. I mean, not that long. Days, not weeks.
Okay.
It's like an on and off thing, right? Like,
okay.
But I mean, we could make a roll right now, Seth, to another grass ball. I was just claim
curious.
That resource.
I was just curious.
If you want it, we can make the roll.
Not yet. Well, I was just curious. Okay.
But yeah, I think that's where we should go next. Is like a big meeting is called. We can have everybody there. Cool. Let's actually take a break. I think it'd be a good time to do it, and then we can come back and do that big meeting. Everyone can be there, and then from there, like I think I have a couple ideas, Jordan, about what the Starset Seekers might do to go find their tech. We do have a cache of doomsday weapons built for the fall over here. You could try to check out. But yeah, we'll go ahead and take a break and then come back and figure out what that meeting looks like. I like that. That'd be a good way for Darren to be the center of everything, because he's like a diplomat, and then we can bring everybody in to like actually get a zoomed in scene and figure out what you're gonna go, where you're gonna go from there. Cool. All right, we'll be right back after these messages.